Well, would you look at that? We're live on the internet.
We are live on the internet. And forever, technically, unless they decide to, audit the channel and remove us for
Sure.
whatever reason.
Why have we allowed this for so long? Get rid of these guys. It's Cast Strength episode 109.
109. Wow. They really add up quite fast.
Do.
109.
It's been adding up a lot faster now that we do it like every week instead of like every 2 to 3 weeks whenever we feel like it.
That's true. It does add up rather quick on the weekly. And then like sometimes with guests and stuff, it's pretty crazy.
And sometimes it's just 2 people drinking and staring at the chat.
Yeah, that's basically what you're gonna get today. Except, Jason, already look at that.
Jason, cheers, single-handedly, just about
50% of our viewers. 50% of our viewers have just sent us money.
Cheers, Jason.
Cheers, Jason.
Pop that up with a thing. Cheers.
So this is what I've just cheersed Jason with. It is an old malt cask, Craigellachie 12-year, bottled at 50%. It is definitely one of 285 bottles charged from a sherry butt.
Nice.
Yeah, and it is. So Craigellachie 13 is the Speyside that finally sold me onto Speyside. So when the opportunity came to get in on split this bottle, I did right away. Because being 12 years and 50%, I had a feeling that I would enjoy it as much, if not more, than the standard 13-year, which is like 43%, I believe.
Right.
And it's quite nice. Again, since the whiskey that sold me on to Speyside. So I picked this sucker up, and it is delicious. And you can tell that it's from a sherry cask almost instantaneously. It's not like super sherry bomb, but it's definitely got strong sherry notes, both on the nose and the palate, and it plays quite nicely with the sweet notes from the Craigellachie spirit.
Sweet. I'm starting with some Talisker 15. I don't know if that will actually show up in focus or not, but
that's the same
15 special reserves.
So listen, is that harder to see in person than it
is?
Shows up
Yes, it is very difficult to see in person, which is why I was waiting for it to focus on the camera so I could read it.
Yeah, because same here, and it's whatever that combination of label and marker that Dave had on that batch of stuff.
Shows up fine on the camera though, so whatever.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think I'm gonna have to again. Yeah, that's crazy. It shows up great on the camera.
Yeah, something about the contrast just works out, I guess.
Yeah, I'll deal with it.
Ben, sometimes people have issues with their priorities. I don't know what can you do.
Yeah, couple things going on. So it's just the two Canadians here, because maybe we just felt that you guys needed a strong dose of Canuck.
Sure, that's got to be it.
I don't know. I got nothing. I gotta get into this beverage a little more so I can be a little more about my wits. It's been a stressful week, and I'm sure all of you are in the same boat. But the good weather is here, at least for some of us. Can't say the same for my in-laws. It was snowing in Newfoundland today, and
oh jeez.
Yeah. So it's really, it's really, really brutal. But now up here, I'm comfortable with planting everything. Really comfortable planting my fruits and veggies and some of my annual flowers that I started from seed. So that makes me a lot happier.
Nice.
Yeah, Delmar 12 is definitely a super friendly, super easy, and it's a cool looking bottle too. So on that gift level, especially for a first Scotch, it's you can't go wrong. It's an excellent looking bottle. And again, I'm not going to mention anything about color or not, but they are very dark looking whiskeys, so they are attractive and appealing to the eye on that level. So that's a nice one. And evening, Donald. Thanks for joining us as usual. Hydrangeas today, as well as some Helenium. Nice, fantastic. I'm a massive. Yep, that was not the one that I wanted to click on. I'm not fast. I'm not super fast on the draw here. That's fantastic. I love hydrangeas. They're fantastic. They make for really good, slightly blurred background flowers in portrait photography. It's 36 degrees here, which, oh my God, that's insane. Yeah. So we've already had, like, we just broke a heat wave, a heat warning, I guess you call it, where like our nighttime temperatures weren't dropping below like 25, like 24.
Yeah, it's been weird.
Yeah, and it sucks. I hate today was a really nice day. I don't know about you out east there, but it was really nice and sunny and warm today, but also like breezy and comfortable. So you weren't like sweating through your shirt just because the so humid outside that it's like just
right.
It forms on it. Yeah, C10, I can deal with.
It's a dry heat, you know. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh, it's Jason said before. My first whiskey I enjoyed was Laphroaig Lore. My second bottle was Laga 16, and then I was given Dalmore 15. It was all raisin fig. Yeah. So, and again, so that was for me. My first really getting into Scotch was Heavy Peat, Laphroaig Quarter Cask, and then all the other wonderful heavy peated Islay drams. So, and I really wasn't into like a Space Cider, for example. Like I did try a few, but the ones I did try weren't the big try. First, I turned off for quite a while, heavily turned off. And then, like I said, this Craigellachie is what finally got me into the Space Cider. But after drinking Islay Peat and really enjoying it, going into something like a sherried Highland is just, yeah, it's all treat, just all sweet. I get a lot of raisins actually from a lot of aged Highland malts.
I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Again, yeah, Laura is really tasty, super great. It's just super pricey as well.
For
it
getting into here, it's just stupid.
Yeah, and like again, you're getting into Octomore country, and as much as I love Laphroaig, I'll go with any Octomore over a Lore for the same price.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
just no brainer. Oh, nice one, Donald. Another blue spot and some of the new Laga Offerman. That's the Guinness.
Oh, I haven't tried that one yet.
Me neither, and I really like the first Offerman, the first release.
Yeah, the 11-year or whatever it was. Yeah.
Yep, 11-year. From what I gather from it, exclusively ex-bourbon. Very nice. No complaints about that. That for me was one of those like gimmicky, if you will, that I was gonna buy, like kind of no matter what. Right. You know, even if someone said it's not really that great, I probably still would have got it because I really do enjoy Parks and Rec an awful lot, and I've grown quite partial to Nick Offerman, and it's Laga. So again, like even like I'm not a diehard Lagavulin fanboy, but I really do enjoy their whiskeys. So that was one I was going to buy no matter what. And I was really happy when it tasted so good. So really looking forward to the did you get that one locally, possibly SAQ, Donald? I know that the SAQ had some, and people were getting the new Offermans. Also, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's also 11 years. This one too, I think, which is awesome. But really interested in the Guinness casks because, as everyone knows, if they'll remember, one of my favorite Irish of all time, and certainly my favorite sub $100 Irish of all time, without a doubt, is the Jameson Bowes. And
oh yeah, that's a great one.
it is marvelous. And that one was
Okay.
finished in the Irish ale casks from the brewery. So while they are definitely different, Jesus Murphy. What am I even talking about? I'm so brain dead. I read a comment and it threw me right off.
Shouldn't do that. Shouldn't read mid-sentence. That'll just throw you off every time. Yeah, I'm very curious what the Guinness does to it.
The Guinness cask. While the different beers, the from the Strong Patrick, they're still both nice Irish beers that hopefully will lend all of the wonderful stuff into that whiskey. Because that first Bowes is remarkable. So really. You know what? It's not for everybody. Yeah, it really isn't. Brad never couldn't get into it because I know that he didn't.
I still haven't finished it.
Yeah, because
I'm slowly getting through it, but it's
it's one that it took me a while. I was almost never gonna watch it because I watched like the first few episodes, and I was really just not interested. In fact, I found it annoying. And then I gave it a shot. I always like to give 1 or 2 seasons a shot for a show if they already have them out, because sometimes it takes that long to find the chemistry, get the writing together, and really, find the way. And I did, and I love it. It's one of my favorite shows. But Parks and Rec is great. It's a lot easier to pick up, in my opinion. It's like you can kind of jump into any episode. There's a lot, like, while there is continuing storylines and arcs and everything, it's just a lot easier to enjoy and get onto. It's a little less involved. Still does jerk some big tears though. Like I've bawled some pretty hardcore moments in Parks and Rec, but I'm soft as a pillow, so there is that.
And even Parks and Rec, like the first season of Parks and Rec is kind of rough in a lot of ways compared to the rest of it. But it's only 6 episodes, so you don't have to get through very much before they sort of.
And exactly, that's my point there too. It is very, and it does find quite a good groove, and you can tell that they wait to see. All shows do this. They wait to see like what, how does this character getting on with the audience and all of that, and then you see. Like the Dwyer, the Andy Dwyer story arc, like he goes from being, the funny little background guy to essentially one of the main stories in the show. But yeah, that's a good one. Hey Sid, Sid knows. If you get a decent preview for a sad enough movie, you can get me crying on a preview. Like the preview for Pursuit of Happiness, the Will Smith film, had me just bawling.
Oh geez.
Yeah, and that was the one I was going to talk about. Yeah, the strong ale finish is really good. And Irish is I think Irish is so accepting to certain finishes, more so than maybe many other styles of whiskey. I'd really like to try that barley wine finish. Teeling is really been knocking it out with the different cask finishes and single casks and all of that over the past few years. Haven't had a bunch myself, but I do know they're out there and I've seen a ton.
A little Sebastian.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Mm.
So sad, so very sad. Poor little
Lil
Sebastian.
Sebastian.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still don't get it. What is it with the what is it with this horse? And they all look at him. They're giving him the worst stink eye. Like,
That would
like
absolutely
they're
be me in a crowd
disgusted.
of people. Like, I don't understand why this horse is a thing, and
Why?
everyone just glares at me. I can, yeah. I relate to Ben in that moment quite a lot.
Yeah, that's it's fantastic. So there's so I need you know what I need to watch Game of Thrones because my knowledge and experience of Game of Thrones is probably like 30% complete of watching the show, and I've just got it from references from other shows, like watching just pop culture references to it over the past 10 years or whatever. Like I had no idea when Leslie gets Ben that throne for
Oh yeah,
and he's sitting and he's just like, yes, 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 no, no, and he's just like all in these different poses, no, and like doing all of this. I don't know. It's pretty funny. So yeah, I'm going. Who just said read the books? I
solid
have the
idea. Or
books.
listen to the audiobooks. And then you get like crazy voices.
Yeah, I have the books on the on my shelf sitting there, brand spanking new, never opened, waiting to read. So yeah, and I am a reader if I can these days. But oh yeah, that's not torture. But I do need to watch the new ones. I like all the new ones. And Mark, good to see you. And Lisa,
You should.
if
It's
you're
entertaining. Doctor
joining us
Who is
too,
great.
hello.
And Torchwood, if you haven't watched Torchwood, that's good stuff too.
See, that's the kind of show where the name is so darn good. I'm already heavily interested. I'm heavily interested in that.
This
Torchwood.
Doctor Who spinoff.
Oh, okay.
But it's like a little bit more dark and a little bit more sort of almost police procedural esque.
Okay.
Like Doctor Who meets X-Files kind of
Well,
thing. Like
they're
like investigating
fantastic show to me right there.
Right. Instead of like dealing with time travel stuff, they're investigating all of the other sort of weird Doctor Who related things that are happening. So it's weird. But it will also make you cry more often than Doctor Who probably, because it gets dramatic at some point.
Yeah. Hey now, who me? Are you talking about me? Or Brad? Or Vito?
I hope it's me so I can finally quit. Listen, he's like single-handedly funding the channel. If he doesn't like me, I'm out. I get it. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, I bet you did, man. I bet you did for sure. Speaking of crying, yeah, Mark, so for those of you, like a lot of you do know Mark by now, and if you don't follow his channel and check out Still in Canada, please do. Mark is the owner, operator, master distiller, science genius of Silver Fox Distillery, and he's also a very good friend of ours. And he also does very, very neat and interesting stuff with Doctor Who, stuff like Daleks, which he has in the distillery. He's got the phone booth in there with signatures of different people who've played Doctor Who, and it's called a TARDIS, not a phone booth. I do know that. And anyways, Mark's done a lot of stuff with like I want to say it was Make-A-Wish Foundation, but pardon me if it wasn't that specific foundation, but it was with charity. working with kids that are ill. Anyways, so I watched a video of stuff about Mark working with the charity and stuff, and having kids come and check out all of his neat, awesome stuff. Like, it's real deal stuff. Like, if you're a Doctor Who fan, or if you're a remote sci-fi fan, you would just have the time of your life at the distillery and talking with Mark, and see. Oh yeah, and Bessie, like he definitely forgot the the biggest showpiece there. Yeah, so but yeah, so I was leaking from the eyes because Mark had that video there. Lisa showed it to us to give us an idea of all the stuff that he did, because it's a lot easier to show someone a video than get into a big talk about it. And yeah, so again, I'm gonna raise a glass to you for that again, Mark, because that's just fantastic.
I just poured some Talisker 57 North, so I will also, and I poured way too much because it's great.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay.
Talisker for me is, and I always say this, it really, like, it's such a unique and almost an intermedium between like the heavy peated Islay and the gentler island other stuff, like a Highland Park or whatever, which I still consider quite gentle by comparison.
Oh, sure.
But it's got its own such a unique briny semi-funk going on that I can pull out. Like, I can tell a Talisker by the nose, except for that one sherry. I can tell a Talisker by the nose, like, compared to all other stuff, where there's a lot of times where I would have a hard time maybe in an Ardbeg, a Laphroaig, and a Bruichladdich.
I agree, Jason. Cheers. It is what Scotch should taste like.
I can't really argue. I mean, some of the best whiskey I've ever had is Talisker. I've never had a Talisker I didn't like either, except for the badly oxidized Dark Storm. But that was not.
Yeah. I didn't get a chance to try it. Post that's terrible oxidization.
And
it's great. Like before, when it's fresh, whatever. When it's not oxidized to hell.
Yeah, no, it's marvelous.
I didn't try it after Vito had said that it turned horrible.
Yeah, and again, I'll say the whole, the mandatory statement of a badly oxidized Talisker is still better than a lot of other whiskeys out there. So it wasn't it wasn't terrible or bad. It was just not the profile that it originally came. That's all. Yeah, so that one's getting a lot of love, quite a lot of love. I'm gonna have to give that one a shot. And I know that they have. Oh no, that was Glenfiddich, not Glenlivet. Yeah, because I was gonna say, I know that they know what they're doing with the rum cask, because that Fire and Cane is really delicious, but that was a different distillery altogether. And it was also had a bit of peat in it, and I don't think this one does. Probably just a nice, really gentle, sweet, nice, excellent, fantastic. Nice. I am going to move on to another Speyside. That's right. 2 Speysiders in a row, folks. And
that's allowed sometimes, I think. Oh, the octave. Benriach, nice.
It's that one little word above single malt Scotch whiskey that really makes this a beauty.
Sure.
And I don't want to say that every peated Speyside I've had has been better than every non-peated Speyside I've had, because that's not really the case. But this is a really,
statistically speaking, if you add peat to something, it's probably going to make it better, right?
In my
experience, just how it works.
In my experience,
I'm sure there's exceptions, but like generally, seems to be how it goes.
Color on this. The color is amazing from that octave cask. So yeah, this is 7 years old. It spent 3 months in an octave. This is bottle number 29. There was 102 bottled, 53.3%. And
Nice.
good Lord, this is a remarkable dram. Did you get any of this?
I don't think so.
I have to pour up a nice one so you can have some of this, because whoa, hold on, what's going on now?
Sheesh.
Other night on a different.
I haven't even had any of it yet.
Bottle chugs of my Iron Root YouTubies, and now have
In theory, there's a bottle waiting for me in Texas. But
is that the pick?
The YouTube. I assume that's what he's talking about.
That's cool. Yeah. That's really cool.
I've heard very nice things about it, but I haven't had it yet.
That's so funny. Okay. First Peter throws this down, and then Donald right underneath it.
It's great minds and all of that sort of stuff. Right?
Yeah. And I very much value both your and Peter's opinions. And by now, which is really kind of neat, having never actually met you, I know how much of my preferred flavor profile combines with your guys, and I know what you guys like and dislike after all this time. Is kind of neat. I'm gonna give that one a try then, guys, for sure, because I haven't heard anything bad about it. Was that that was part of the special Diageo yearly releases, I think. But I will give that one a shot for sure. This is my favorite peated space cider period is the Balvenie 14-year triple cask. It is marvelous. It's actually up there for my favorite peated drams, and it's a space cider. So, oh yes, oh whiskey.
It turns out whiskey is good.
It really is. I've been trying to get back. So before the blind episode, the blind test, I had like 3 or 4 drams throughout the week. Actually, no, I had like 5, which for me is crazy. But now I'm back again on the once a week thing, and it's like I'm trying to at least have a couple more. But for me, it's a very much an experience thing. Like I need to really be feeling it. I need to have the opportunity to if I'm going to be standing, I need to be, outside or being able to just enjoy it. Or if I am inside, I need to sit down and have a couple minutes at least. And if I don't have that, it's not like I don't want to just rush back and, pour a dram and have a dram while I'm doing a bunch of other stuff. It's just not the way I do it.
Yeah, no. Anything during the week, if I'm drinking anything, it's usually mixing something with Dr. Pepper or whatever.
Man,
not really like drinking straight whiskey, unless I'm like sitting down to like read or something. Every once in a while, I'll pour a dram, but usually, if I'm doing other things, I'm just sipping on like a smoky pepper rather than trying to pull the flavors out of things.
I've heard lots of good stuff about the Smokehead.
Smokehead is great, yeah.
I've personally never tried it. I know they have a few editions. They have the like the sherry edition Smokehead and a cask strength and all that. But I've heard remarkable stuff about them, so it is supposed to be quite enjoyable. That is awesome, Peter. I know they are making their way. I know they were out west. We did see them out west. But I think a few of us had just decided to try and take that gamble. I think it is going to be one of those things that might even be a shred cheaper if it does come here. and happens to go on a shelf. But yes, you absolutely can, Mark. As a matter of fact, it is so. And I can prove this. If anybody's watching that's my friend here and can back me up on this, I've been talking about it for so long, and I've been mentioning it to everybody as one of my first destinations. Brad, we've talked about it with Brad. He makes.
I'll pick you up on the way. It's just your house is like basically on the way to the distillery, so I'll just pick you up.
I really do miss you and Lisa an awful lot. Things have been unbelievably busy for me the past year and a half, as they have for you. I know you're one of the busiest folks I know, but yeah, definitely want to get up there. Really miss tasting everything that you've got up there. Miss hanging out with you and Lisa, and I really want to see this beard in person. So
gotta see the beard.
Yeah, you can absolutely expect me.
Yeah, sometime real soon. As soon as things lift, I'm going to be getting in the car. So whether I'm staying with Dan or somewhere else, I will be in the area.
12:01 hits and Brad's just going.
Yep.
Oh man. So first of all, I'm going to say get into some gin. I think that many people will agree here that many whiskey drinkers, as far as a clear spirit goes, many aren't actually clear. Gin is one that I think you might enjoy. It's got some flavor to it. It's not like a vodka, which can also be good. But when you're looking for a little something in there, gin is a great shot for something that's not whiskey and not rum. And Mark makes remarkable spirits. Like, he's very, very talented. Mark and Lisa have a very, very it's like a talent mixed with the skill and knowledge, which is great. You know, it's like when you have someone that's super like a sport, like an athlete, if you will, that is super duper talented and gifted and passionate about a sport. And then you give them like all of the best equipment for whatever that sport may be. It's like a race car driver when they're naturally gifted and you give them the best equipment. It's hard to be beat. And that's Mark and Lisa there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's and that's funny because, like, you know, he makes it all day, he's around it all day, and like the last thing you want to do is go home, but like that's probably how freaking good it is. Mark would bring us like little samples of just little things we've been kind of trying and this and that, and half of them are like the best things we've ever tasted.
Right. Here, try this random experiment that I thought of at like 2 a.m. the other day. It's like, this is amazing. What the hell? Bottle this immediately.
Yeah, just
so good.
Really great. Great knack for flavors and tastes, and the distillery itself is really something else. So yeah, that's something that's on the schedule and the horizon for sure. But
that'll need to happen.
Oh, excellent.
Sweet.
You should throw up a link, or I will remember, Mark, but feel free to throw that in the Owls group whenever you can or want, as many times. But yeah, so Ben, I haven't been on the store anytime recently to check things out, but I can go ahead and vouch for anything that Mark produces.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's genuine love and passion and knowledge into his craft. I've been to the distillery multiple times. I know Mark quite well at this point, and after the first time I met Mark, I knew that he was one of the most intelligent, passionate, and involved people, period, I've met in the distilling world at all. And there will be whiskey in the future when it does its thing in the wood. But for now, he's got all kinds of awesome stuff. He's got fantastic peppercorn vodka, specifically geared towards, you know, your seasonal all kinds of remarkable stuff. But if you wanted to get into gin, and you're into it, I would pick up some gin from Mark. I would highly suggest it because, again, first time I met Mark, you know me, I'm a massive nerd about fruits and vegetables and just growing all kinds of stuff, and just the passion and interest that he had in producing his own fruits and vegetables. There's even some on site that he's planted that will eventually come into a product. So yeah, this is the Mark, the Silver Fox show. But I can't say enough good things, and it's not just because Mark is a friend, it's genuine. I have lots of friends who have products and businesses that I don't speak so highly of.
Twist my arm, Mark. Twist my arm. I'll try. I will have to get up there for sure as soon as I can. As soon as it is legally feasible for me to do so, I will be showing up.
Hey, Nathan. Nathan's probably had that one, possibly. Hey, what's up, Weddle?
So Weddle.
Halfway late is, it's like the more late you are, the more appropriate for the channel it is. Eau Claire is definitely a neat distillery. We've had a couple of their whiskeys. One, I think they were both rye. Shocking. Dave usually gets an Eau Claire for his yearly tastings, which we are now owing one tasting. But yeah, gin is again, I'm English, so I might be like pre-programmed to say that gin is a good drink, but it's also very versatile. It's punchy. It's got a lot of flavor profiles. It's definitely not as subtle, obviously not spending a ton of time in oak as we're used to with whiskey. So, right off the bat, if you haven't done the gin thing before, it is going to be kind of a shock, but I think that you'll get into it a heck of a lot more, certainly again, than any other unaged spirits. Yeah, we're really hit and miss, it seems like, on the Irish, and then out of the blue sometime we'll get like some weird awesome stuff, but mostly out west. Yeah, that's because Donald has it all. It all just goes to him now. He's the hub.
That's right. It goes directly to him, and then he lets things distribute, that he doesn't feel like keeping.
Yeah. Yeah. See,
I haven't had a ton of gin personally. I should try more of them. I did really, really like the one from Bruichladdich, the Botanist.
Oh, the Botanist. Yeah, I haven't tried that one yet. It's my favorite distillery in the world, and I haven't tried it yet.
I think I still have a little bit. I just got a sample, but I think I still have some. I'll bring it when we go to the distillery. I'll have to bring it.
Yeah. So, yeah, the super juniper heavy ones are a bit much. It's kind of overwhelming, and it's certainly if you're not into that particular note of juniper, it's very, very hard. But so many fantastic gins out there. I have a marvelous rose gin that's infused with rose hips and rose petals, and it's absolutely stellar. So who's talking about? Okay, there you go. So I have a different rose gin. I'll go pick it up because it's kind of neat to see the stuff in the actual bottle. And yeah, it's basically, again, it's infused with rose hips and rose petals, and it is somewhere. Here it is, way down there. And this was also one of the coolest bottles that I ever picked up, because it has. Come on.
It's not going to focus.
Come on. Come on, Nate. Come on.
Focus.
Focus.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Mellow. 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 Okay, well, anyways, it doesn't have the ABV or the batch number listed. They're blank.
Helpful.
And it's like super illegal to sell something in the LCBO, I think, with incorrect. But anyways, I got this.
Yeah.
It was the only one. And I don't know where my light is gonna, if I can, but you should be able to see the particulates in there. I'll give it a little.
Oh yeah. A little bit, yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. You could kind of see it.
Yeah. And it's absolutely marvelous. I just mix it with the simply lime, the limeade lime, and it slowly turns pink, which is really, really fucking cool effect of the drink. It's just literally 2 ingredients, and then you sit there and watch it, and the thing slowly turns pink, and it's marvelous. Yeah. So, Peter, if you haven't tried, and if you can, the cask strength, and I know that this is the friggin' universal saying for every whiskey, if you haven't tried the cask strength, you got to try it. But really, it's a completely different ballgame, and they do vary from batch to batch. But the standard Dillon's Rye is not great at all as the cask strength. It is night and day. I'm not saying this is the case. Everyone knows how I feel about it. Okay, there you go. You've got it there. I personally just think that they literally watered it down to that minimum 40%, no matter what, period. Like, no matter what. Like, here's the whiskey. Okay, get it down to 40, bottle it. Like, it's, that's what I feel, because it's really not great. And by comparison to the cask strength, which is, for me, more than drinkable. Yeah, it's just a really, really night and day thing there. And I'm yes, so I missed this when I was going on my thing, but definitely, and that's exactly, I fully agree with that, and I'm really looking forward to that lavender. Okay, I'm gonna have to see if that is definitely not gonna be something we can get up here, but if it's in the States,
probably not. We can work it out. We have friends. Once travel restrictions are eased up, there's gonna be a whiskey railroad situation. I'm just gonna be going back and forth constantly.
Yes, and that's the thing. But here's the other thing, Mark, that I know. And again, that's why I can't say it for sure that that's went on anywhere else. But I know that even if you did have it bottled at 40%, it still would be a good product. You wouldn't send it out no matter what, regardless. Just that goes down to 40 and out it goes, and there's whiskey, or there's, like, you know what I mean? Like, so that's not even a question with you at all.
It would be more like, we tried it at all the different levels, and like, you know what? It was pretty good at 40, so let's just do that. Rather than water it down to 40 and push it out no matter what it tastes like.
Right. And again, I'm not going to say that that's what they do. They obviously put a ton of love into a lot of their products, their gins. They've got absinthe. They grow their own wormwood for it, and then all neat stuff. But I just kind of got that feeling. With and that's just me. Well, the tracks are still laid, but I've been having a lot of problems paying for coal in the train.
Right. And it was time. This was so close to being empty that I had to empty it out. The Talisker 1985.
That
that
is
kind of
like
night.
it's like the second or third best whiskey I've ever had in my life.
So
Period.
good.
It is so good. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in any position in any bar, tasting, any way you can get Talisker 1985, get on it.
So good.
Very good. It's the brine note is like it's a very strong brine note, but it's the most balanced and delicious brine note I've ever had on a whiskey. Like it's so good. I have two different.
Amazingly light for 27 years. Like
It is remarkably light for 27 years, and it's so good.
no,
Actually,
82
86.
would be my birthday.
Brad's 86. Brad's 80, but Brad wasn't born yet in 85.
Lies.
See, I'm a nice guy and a great friend.
Lies. I'm going to be 39 in just a couple of weeks.
Holy moly, macaroni. That is kind of, I want to say it's shocking. I didn't know them personally. I knew the story. I kind of thought that maybe that wasn't a thing that would happen, but recent years have seen a lot of weird things happen. So yeah, I did not know that. I did not know that, Mark.
Sheesh, I would have been 4. And Dan wouldn't have even been a twinkle in his dad's eye
2. Wow, Adam's the best one. If everybody knows Adam, the tasting wizard,
he's a baby.
Yeah,
he's just a baby.
Yeah, he's like 23.
But he's got the palate of a 300-year-old Scotsman.
Literally, like who's done nothing but like, yeah, he's got a palate that I would have to say is like Ralphie level, and you know,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy and fun, really fun, and really fun to read. It certainly helped me, and still does help me, because there's a lot of times when, and I think this is the case with a lot of people that are like, they are tasting things. It's just simply literally naming it, and if it's not something, again, you've experienced, it's going to be really hard to do that. But like when Adam's sitting there and he's like, oh, it's like it's maraschino cherries with fucking cinnamon, and you're like, yep, that's fucking maraschino cherries with cinnamon. You know, it's like, it's one of those.
He's very good at translating it into the real words that then connect with like everyone in the room. Like, oh yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Why wasn't my brain spitting out those words? That's exactly the thing.
I'm just sitting here saying it's fucking good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's he does have quite the palate. Quite the palate. No, they're not. They are not.
Nope.
And good God, though, remarkably delicious, just out of this world, head and shoulders. And again, I've never had a Talisker that I didn't enjoy. I'm a pretty big fan, but that is something else. That is a wow whiskey, and I think that it's
absolutely.
For me, it's one of those that like should be up there with like a lot of the big time super, like the 60s Beaumont Blacks level. Like for me, that's how good that stuff was. Just really tasty, really tasty. Like 20 plus years in wood for peated whiskey is really good stuff.
It's like I like really young peated whiskey and really old peated whiskey. In the middle is like, yeah, it's good.
That's true. There is
But
some
like
young stuff
super
is
young, like
great.
5 years old, like fucking great, nice, spiky peat, like awesome. And then you age it for 20 plus years, like it still tastes like peat, but for some reason it's soft, but it's still
I
good.
know
Doesn't make any
it's
sense,
so.
but it's delicious.
Yeah, Ardbeg 23 is the best example of that forever, and it's the first
That's
one
great
for me,
stuff.
right? That was the first. It's funny because like the oldest fucking the oldest peated whiskey I'd had before that was probably 8 years. I'm gonna say 7, 8 years. Um, so yeah, and it was a wow factor because again, you're like, yep, okay, this is clearly peated, but it's so gentle and it mixes. It just such a wonderful. Oh, it mellowed out so great, and that dusty bubblegum note is
Yeah.
out of this world. That was also one of the first times I had a whiskey note that wasn't, you know, um, leather, spice, vanilla,
Sure.
coffee,
Wood,
wood.
leather.
You know,
Yeah.
the more common ones. Again, coming out of the bourbon wheelhouse at that time. You guys were just breaking me out of that. So yeah, that was the hashtag Brad Spoiled that started it all.
It's a terrible habit I have. Half of that bottle of 1985 went to just a room full of people. It's like, let's just open this bottle and see if it's any good. Like 10
Let's
people
see
or
if this
whatever.
fucking one's any
Let's
good.
see if it's good. We just drank half the bottle. Share about half the bottle. Oh,
Yeah,
this is
you
great. Damn it. Why did
certainly,
I do that? I'm stupid.
you
It was worth it though.
certainly, yeah. Well, the amount of whiskey that you've shared, the bottles that you have, super amazing bottles that you've had, that I personally have seen, viewed, or just know for an absolute fact that more of the bottle has gone out to other people than you've had yourself. Is
Yeah.
just
I
that's just
tip like that's the point, right? Is to share it and enjoy the experience. So
uh,
anywhere remotely interesting, like I usually open it with a group of people.
yeah,
'Cause
and that's
that's the
why
point.
I've got some gems just waiting. I'm waiting for like more than one person.
Right.
As soon as that third person like comes in the perimeter, I'm popping. I'm gonna like start popping corks.
Right.
Um, yeah, like,
Cheers, Weddle.
and that's fucking Weddle. And I'd have to say the same. You and Dave, and of course many people got some fantastic stuff from Graham, from Adam, from James, from all of our friends, from everybody. I've gotten lots of stuff,
Sure.
but I have to be genuinely honest about you. You and Dave are just way up at the top.
Speak of the devil. He just
Brad
woke up.
sent me home the first. Dave, I was just saying that you and Brad are way up here on the top for your generosity and kindness and just sharing fantastic whiskeys. It's and like Brad said, that's what you're supposed to do. Well, that is the whole thing, and that's why our this thing of ours has gotten so big and so inclusive. It's not because you have people just like misers with their scotch just hiding in a corner and they'll only pour it to their friends and this and that and
Right.
everyone's
Right.
sharing.
This one is too good for the regular company. Let's share some of the. Let's
And
like,
you
yeah,
and you know what?
whatever.
If you want to put a fucking
Share
ice
it.
cube in there, I'm not going to kick you out of my house type of deal. Like it's all that whole
Yeah, whatever.
attitude and it's great. I think that our this generation of whiskey buffs, shall I say, be you 19 or 75 or 85, like this generation, just this right now is such a great thing for whiskey because and social media has obviously been probably the catalyst,
Sure.
like quite obviously, but without this movement that we're on right now, like I
I
think
know
that
that feeling. That is my exact sentiment. I don't get along with very many people all that much.
yeah,
Travel restrictions have ruined my in-person socializing completely.
I like a lot of people near me. I love a lot of people near me. However, I just think that I have like one buddy. Like Clarky's probably my like the only person in the last year on like a connection level of seeing somebody that appreciates whiskey. So I have lots of people I like, but none of them that it's worth having some whiskey with, because I don't care if you don't like whiskey or really gonna really appreciate it, but I kind of do for some of the stuff. Like I'd like to have some
Sure.
open up some bottles and stuff, and that's if there's enough in somebody that they're interested in or like to try or do, pardon me, something along those lines, and I'll bust out all kinds of stuff. I'm going to have
I'm going to need an invite to that, assuming the border is open at the time.
I love the fact that tasting is in quotation.
Tasting.
It's awesome. Oh, yeah, that makes all of us.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
For sure.
I can't wait to start busting into the stashes of whiskey that I've been storing at other people's houses during all of this because I couldn't get to it. There's so much whiskey out there just waiting.
Yeah.
It'll be a good time.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good plan, Will.
That's
a solid.
We just have to all remember. Yeah, it is. There's no two ways around that. That's a solid plan. Oh, that was me.
See, I just need to get the whiskey that's in other countries here, right?
Brad needs.
I have the room for like 3 times the whiskey that I have in there still, but I need to get it here. That's the problem. I think I'm down to only 2 foreign countries currently where I have whiskey. Just the US and Ireland.
Just with an E. Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is so good. It's gonna be gone. There's not gonna be any left.
I think
Yeah, I don't know how many bottles I have sitting in New Jersey currently. I'm pretty sure I have 2 in Ireland. It might be 3, but definitely at least 2. And I think that's it. I do technically have another bottle sitting in a different part of the city that I just haven't been able to collect, but that's all. That's local enough. I can deal with that.
I rated that Talisker a 9.89 out of 10.
It's so good.
And that's the.
And I will probably never have another bottle of it because it's basically impossible to find these days.
Well, I want to thank you very, very, very much for the opportunity to enjoy some because again, it opened me up into a whole new ballgame there. Half an hour, give or take, along the QE.
I am drinking the last of my Talisker 1985.
Yeah, it's this is a funeral.
It really is. So good.
This is a celebration of life.
With
Ben,
that, we
you're in
have been going an hour, so we did it. We managed to do it with no one else showing up, Dan.
I didn't even look at the timer once. I can't believe that I did not look at the timer once. Actually, I did. I did at like 7 minutes, 7 or 8 minutes.
It's only been 8 minutes. God damn it.
Yes, I did split what Brad sent me with you. So, yeah, it is marvelous.
Yeah, I think at the time that I got it, I want to say I paid 600 and some US for it, something along those lines.
That's a fucking steal. I'd pay $1,000 for that, no problem.
Oh,
like again, I wouldn't, because like I don't have $1,000. I don't spend $1,000 on whiskey,
right.
But certainly on of all the whiskeys that I have had that are up to the 4 digits and all of that stuff, like that's an easy one.
Yeah, I would probably, if I could find it tomorrow for 900 US, I would be very tempted to do it.
I'm gonna say this: if Johnny Blue sells for 300, Talisker 1985 for 900 American is a fucking
absolutely
steal.
100% steal.
Like, you know, yeah. Ben, it is like about an hour and a half ish from Pearson, but you ever come down and you're in this neck of the woods, you let us know, and we'll make sure that again, pending everything is legal and safe, we'll set you up, buddy, because I'm halfway in between the airport and Mark, and we know the.
And if you know you're going to be in that area, I'll show up too, because I'll make the 5-hour drive.
Yeah. So yeah, but it's about in like all things said and done. If you got serious traffic getting out of the city, it's an hour and a half max, but about an hour. There you go. Like give or take, could be even less depending on the route if you're at the right time, and the 401's easy. But like from where I am, it's just a nice, easy country back road drive. It's a beautiful little quaint little town that I used to play baseball in as a visiting team. And there you go.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Like,
I will show
don't threaten me. You gotta get out here, Ben. You gotta get out here. That's
you gotta get a little
funny.
Further east.
I know where Vermilion is too. That's my cousin actually just got back to Edmonton after coming down here. Unfortunately, his mom's not doing super well, so he had to come down. The reason for the visit wasn't spectacular, but it was nice to kind of have an outdoor visit. And he's back in Alberta, and also told me that if there's anything I want from Alberta, he will ship it. So
excellent.
Yeah, this is
absolutely, yeah,
that I think we'll do. Maybe we can kind of have a Canadian gathering of some sort, which really in a lot of ways doesn't make that much difference, because some people from out west coming all the way here, they might as well go down to the States or whatever. But we got a lot of people up in Canada that aren't necessarily in the whiskey tribe.
Keep saying like I would host one, but Ottawa isn't exactly central to most of the people that I know that drink whiskey, unfortunately.
Mike, you're the best.
That's it. We're done. No, Mike showed up. No, can't cancel everything. Stream over. Whatever. I got one sip of this left, so we gotta end it.
Ooh.
It's not. This is it. So see you next week, everybody. Thanks for showing up.
All right, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks, everyone. Good to see a lot of old faces, and stay safe and have fun.
Cheers.